Amazingly, we're back. We're going to be casting game number 3. I'm Day 9.
And I'm Kyle Loris, and we are going to be loading up onto Metropolis for the last game here in this PVZ. Now, Metropolis has produced some interesting games during this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, Metropolis is honestly the map that's big to the point where it's hard to attack anymore. And the most important aspects for the Protoss player is the Warp Prism. You can get to the point where you have 5 bases, 20 gateways, and as long as you have enough free food, you can just obliterate whatever's the weakest point with those Warp Prism harasses.
Yeah, and I mean, for Elfi in PVZ thus far has been just going for like straight up engagements off the back of Phoenix play. So not really too much like real stretching of an opponent, multi-pronged attacks, you know, going for the late game to then start Warp Prism harassment. He normally just says, I'm just going to macro up and just like move across and hope that that is going to be enough in order to be able to actually break that.
And he keeps getting his mothership nabbed by infestors. That's the thing that just hurts so much to watch. Because, I mean, he's getting the right composition. He's doing the right transitions up to the Archon mixture. He has not too many Colossus, but he just, when he moves his army, he's just like one there, and he clicks, and the mothership just kind of slowly floats after and always gets nabbed. So it's kind of it's an issue that I think that Elfi, he joked about it in the interview, but he seriously nearly lost that last, or seriously lost the last games. Yeah. He didn't nearly lose it. He lost it literally.
And as we can see, Grubby talking to a few fans here. But I mean, coming back to the game here, especially you know, Elfi. There's in PVZ. There's a little bit of tension when actually controlling a mothership going into the engagements against Zerg. When you eventually say, hey, I want to put the vortex in this location, the mothership actually has to de-accelerate to be able to go for that. And there's this like split second like a little timing.
You can notice that the mothership is slowing down to be able to do that vortex.
But not only that, Fungals and Neural, well, especially Neural Parasite if it actually does go off, but Fungals really shut it down. It messes with the AI a little bit to make sure that if it's not in range, it's still slowing down, but actually, I mean, it's obviously pinned in place, but then it doesn't continue to kind of eke forward after the Fungal's actually gone down to be able to continue with that vortex.
So Slivko is honestly I think probably the favorite for this match, especially given Elfi's history with mother-shipping. But do note that there were multiple times in that match where Slivko nearly lost because he wasn't covering his bases with Warp Prism. That is the big threat. Slivko, I do think, is creative enough to go for the Nidus Worm, but in tense situations, he just relies way, way more on the defensive side.
Well, we are going to see here on Metropolis how Elfi is going to be able to deal with this. But ladies and gentlemen, spawning up to the northern position here as our Red Zerg 1-1 in this series. Give it up for Roxkit Slivko.
And in the left position, spawning as the blue Protoss, it is going to be Rog Elfi.
So again, Metropolis, one of those maps that you very rarely see short games on it, but again, there's always that potential to go for that 2-base play in Elfi's shoes here, and there's always a little bit of temptation because of the way in which the architecture is orchestrated around the natural there. So, and we saw Feast having very, very good levels of success with that kind of play on this map yesterday with the initial use of sentries to be able to throw down those force fields very nicely against the big heavy roach play of his Zerg opponents, and then falling back to the stable of Blink once those force fields actually dissipate.
But the sick thing was seeing Nesty go for the burrow play against Feast. And just pop out directly underneath and just kill it all off. Oh, God, it was such a beauty to see. Right now, Elfi getting the chance to see that. Indeed, Pool first coming up. We'll do the patrol square, so his pro will be doing the best blocking that he can. And actually, I don't know how to patrol in a way that makes it go one direction. I never understood how players did that.
Really?
I always keep telling myself, oh, I have to figure that out, and I never remember to look it up.
You just, like, rally it back to the first point, and then it's circling around. Actually, fully enough, at Copenhagen Games 2012, Fuser and Elfi actually stopped me mid-cast, basically, and said, we need to check what's going on there. And they didn't know either. So Elfi actually learned that from me now that I think about it. Thanks, Elfi. Good job. Yeah. So for now, he's just establishing that wall off, throwing that forge down here to to be able to get that Nexus first, well secure on Metropolis. And from here, wealth of options for Elfi. Can still go for that 2-base play or ramp it up and go for that big macro game. And again, if he does go for that big macro game, it's so important as a Protoss to start exploiting the immobility of your opponent's Broodlord Infestor army, going for drops on multiple fronts, i.e. the 5th and the 1st.
So now Elfi needs to be starting to check. Yep, there's that one drone. Elfi has a good hint as to what's going on, but he doesn't know for certain. He'll probably just do a loop back around just to double check that that expansion's up. Still a huge gaping entrance, so he needs to close that off pretty quickly, but per usual, we see the double gas. In terms of the mid game, I'm actually not as much a fan of the Colossus play on this map. I think that the mobility that a more blink stalker heavy army grants you is going to help you step into that more aggressive mid and late game. The only reason I would like a Colossus play is if you wanted to go super passive, not attack, and set yourself up nicely for that Warp Prism harass. I mean, going for the Colossus has the Robo Bay down, so you can get the Gravitic Drive upgrade, so on and so forth.
And there's a lot of architecture in the middle of Metropolis to be able to exploit against Colossus play as well. Corruptors hang around over these, ravines, over these cliffs, to be able to just pick away at them, and it makes it a little bit more difficult for your Stalkers to be able to blink under there, really start focusing them down so that they can be negated in their damage.
Double Chrono Boost on the Cybernetics core in the +1. Not very common that you see a double Chrono Boost there. What is his energy saved up like? Well, that's a little bit weird because now he won't be able to both get the +1 and the Warp Gate up at the same time. +1 and Warp Gate actually actually have the exact same build time length, so. Ooh, there's another Chrono Boost going down on that Warp Gate. I actually think that we're probably going to see a 4 Warp Gate aggression out of Elfi on this game.
And that can work very, very well as long as, he clears out watchtowers in order to be able to keep that going. Now, there you go. There's the 3 extra gateways being laid down here by Elfi. Does shoo away those Zerglings in the middle of the map here with that initial Stalker. And actually, Slivko, though, doing a pretty good job of getting that creep spread going. And there we go, the very, very standard Roach timing here for Slivko.
But Elfi's getting really close to being able to get that Warp Gate done. He hasn't yet built the pylon. He kind of needs to hurry up and start that ASAP. Great hiding job on that one probe that's at the back. And here comes the pylon. Just brilliantly timed. Slivko sees it, but it doesn't matter. It's the timing that's so good on it. Slivko's going to do his best to try to work these Zerglings around, but for however much he wants to pressure with that, he's going to have to deal with a lot of Zealots being warped in his main.
Oh, and look what he's going for off the back of this, a Dark Shrine to be able to keep the pressure
so sexy.
As he will be able to start a second pylon here. And so he's going to have so much ability to be able to warp in at this location. He just wants to continue the aggression, keep his opponent on the back foot once again, until that point where he can have these pylons alive, warping in DTs from there. And, I mean, yes, the Evolution Chamber's down and the layer's going to be done in just a bit, but the 18 seconds between an Overseer morphing in and it not being done is that magic window for those DTs to do some massive damage.
Elfi taking huge hits from this Roach Force, just ate some major damage right there. +2 getting started. Elfi actually didn't even start this third Geyser. A little bit of a misstep because now he's running out of transitions for that mid and late game. Slivko still yet doesn't have Zergling speed. Would love to have had that so we can continue to barrel down the front.
And look at this, he's just warping in these 2 Zealots to constantly delay these pylons from being killed off by these 3 Roaches because he knows how close the Dark Shrine is to being finished. He wants to warp those in as close as possible. Even another pylon going down over to the left-hand side here for Elfi to be able to really, really ramp up the aggression.
Here it is. Dark Shrine done. 3 DTs get morphed in. Where's the target fire? It looks like Slivko knows that something's going a little bit wrong. And he's splitting them up. He's going into the main and the natural. He's going to go on a drone killing adventure.
And his one Overseer was over the other side of the map, actually throwing down a Changeling to be able to spot what was going on, but he's now having to morph in another. How many workers has he killed on here? Only 6 right now, but still with those Overseers morphing in, he's going to get even more, up to 10 and 11, 12, 13.
Excellent damage being dealt by Elfi. Per usual, Elfi uses every trick in the book. He's going to just keep that one DT hidden anywhere that he can in the main base. Elfi, though, has no infrastructure back in his main. He's actually forced to go 7-gate. This is a defensive play just due to the fact that Slivko is looking way, way better at this moment.
He got 21 workers in total. I thought the aggression was going to be shut down when he got around the 50 mark, but no, still able to eke out a few more kills there. Nicely done, but look, I mean, during all of that, he was still droning. He was just, well, you know, I know that this is your aggression. I can just keep droning during this and then shut it down with the Overseer. So really, really nice play there by Slivko, not really overstating any kind of response to those DTs. And now he has the Infestation Pit on the way and plenty more drones to be able to bolster him here.
There is the macro hatch up, 67 drones, but now Lings are in production. Elfi has not gotten Blink. He does have +2, but he doesn't actually have that much. He's getting the Archon. He needs some Zealots to get warped in to be able to deal with that large Ling swell that we're going to see soon. 6 Roaches, 22 Zerglings. Wait, where did the unit count for Slivko go? There's actually a very small amount of units for Slivko. Elfi is just going to push once again on 2 base.
I mean, is he going to warp in more DTs to add to the Archon count? Because if he does, and then he finds out suddenly that his opponent is just on predominantly Zergling right now, that's going to be able to tank quite a bit of damage and do a lot of damage as well.
I would like to see at least maybe one more Archon, but the most important thing are going to be the Zealots. If you morse in those Zealots, he can continue to produce out of this ridiculous gateway count that he's built up in his main base. I mean, he has 8 gateways, churning units out right now, and indeed, wow, it looks like he is going just straight Zealot Archon. Zealots, DTs being morphed in. It looks like he's going to try to do a run-in in the main, and it'll work.
Oh, he's going to be able to do quite a bit of damage here. Force fields go down, not really splitting off too much of this army, though. Zerglings get nice coverage at this third, but they will have to fall back for now as those Archons and the Stalkers still doing too much damage there.
Oh, Slivko just in a world of pain. Has a ton of Roaches, but in the main base, we see that a Dark Templar very nicely planted will be able to maybe take down the Infested Terrans. It can actually do anything it wants. Right now, Elfi is the one who is in total control, but realizing, I think, a little late that he didn't have Blink, chrono boosting that out as fast as he can.
Yeah, so Stalker heavy here. He needs that just in case as well. Those Zerglings get good coverage once again. He doesn't have too many Zealots in this composition here, so that is very, very important to be able to go up against this composition. And again, even against the Roaches, just blinking back. So nice to be able to negate the deaths of those Stalkers.
This DT in the main has been doing so much damage. Elfi has been adamant about making sure it's in good shape. Oh, a giganto-fungal Slivko, nailing those fungal growths. Oh my God, those were amazing.
And Blink, sorry, is now done here. You will be able to try and actually constantly focus down some of these Overlords. Not going to be able to get any though there, as he doesn't want to overextend too far into this third base.
Another DT, Elfi starting to realize, well, wait a minute, I've killed 33 workers. That's actually my edge in this game. 55 workers for a Slivko to the 53 for Elfi, and that other DT's now heading up into the main. Elfi's actually not going to stop. He's just going to dedicate to this 2-base play.
Yeah, and with the production that Slivko has here, I mean, can Elfi really break this? He might try and hit that critical mass of Stalkers, but with the Infestors out, can you even make that work?
He blinked forward, the most dangerous move that you can do. Now he's getting fungal growth, and Slivko realizing, oh, thank you so much for that blink forward, Elfi, giving me all the free damage that I need to get the edge back in this game. With 45 drones, 44, oh no, 15 kills, 16 kills. Suddenly, Slivko down to just 40 drones. And Elfi in a miracle play, a single DT. I mean, oh my God, 50 workers killed this game, and Slivko is still winning.
I think this DT play has been really, really impressive, but again, Slivko's just, all the while, during all of this DT pressure, he's been droning constantly throughout it all. So he's just had so many replacement drones. He's almost made 100 drones in this game, as well as had this army up. So much lava dedicated to that drone production. And he has so many Infestors as well, 6 here, with a little bit of energy on each of them to constantly shut down this blink aggression. And Elfi, for now, he has to kind of retreat back and try and get going on this third base.
Oh, these DTs still managing to find targets. Elfi doing a great job. Could even pick off this Roach, but instead is just going to hide down here at the south end.
And for now, Elfi just controlling the middle of the map here. I wouldn't even say controlling. I mean, if Slivko actually wanted to move out, he could, but it's going to get to the point here where Elfi's income is just not good enough to be able to deal with this 3 base. But actually, I mean, he's still not mining from the main.
Look at this little tactic. He's going to try to use this DT to help him blink up onto the high ground.
That's so cool.
Oh, what a play. What a badass. He's going to instantly snipe off any overseer that he can. Target fire this layer. What a play. And now just picking off units at that natural expansion. Can he actually sneak down? Oh, smart blink backfires. DT gets taken down. But amazingly, elfi does not quite have the stalkers that he needs to be able to stay alive.
No, unit counting station right now. 8 stalkers and 4 sentries and 2 zealots to 38 roaches and 7 infestors. Slivko has a slight advantage here. Is he going to press it is the question, though, as again, Metropolis can put you in a bit of a weird mindset from time to time.
This is so weird. Only 33 drones out right now. 4 queens. I mean, Slivko must win with this attack, but honestly, his army is just staggering. 7 infestors, 46 roaches, 37 zerglings. Slivko, defend, 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 attack once for the win. I actually don't think that elfi is going to have enough.
And Slivko's games are looking more and more commonly like this as the tournament goes on. He did this against Moonglade as well during Daybreak, but regardless, he's going to push in here. There's just not enough here for elfi to really deal with it. Good force fields to try and zone those guys out, but look at how many infested Terrans he has with these roaches just powering forward to be able to kill off this 3rd base here. And with that, elfi's going to try and sit back on these 2 base.
But another Dark Templar getting in there.
God.
What? What? 67 drone kill elfi. Beast mode, 25 drones. I think Slivko's feeling the pressure now. Slivko's realizing, I gotta win now. I have to win now. I just can't hope to recoup in this spot.
It almost looks like he's just going for some kind of constricting style and just going to come back in and deny the 3rd base once again. But I still think he could actually power down the front here. But he always has to be kind of careful as to how much he has. He doesn't know what we know here, so it's very, very hard for Slivko right now to really get a read on exactly what's happening.
Well, at this point in time, a single DT from elfi. If at first it succeeds and it continues to succeed, let's just
And there's another one moving out
now. Yeah.
Oh my God, just these DTs killing off 69 workers in total right now. Slivko just poising himself for some kind of attack. He's almost maxed out, again, on 35 drones. And elfi's slowly being let back in.
This is the silliest looking army tab I've ever seen. But the fact is, Slivko has so much stuff that Slivko has to keep it on 2 base Protoss. If elfi gets 3rd base, that's it. Slivko cannot hope to step forward.
Yeah, I mean, elfi does have quite a bit of firepower here. He has the +2 weapons against the +1 of Slivko right now. And he's going to have Storm in just a little bit as well. So how many High Templars does he have? Just the 1 for now, stockpiling a little bit of gas here. And this is just, again, such a strange situation. Metropolis really does put you in a position where you can never really know without a direct throw of an Overlord in there. And how many worker kills is he getting once again?
Getting more and more and more. Slivko, I actually think, is just losing focus. These games that he's been playing against elfi have been so long. I mean, he's now at 79 worker kills. I mean, Zerg just cannot. Zerg's had less workers than Protoss all game long, but the fact is this top right has always been saturated thanks to this Overseer Spine combo. I mean, this is the tough angle to try to break.
With the passiveness down to the south of the map, it's almost as if this is one of those custom maps where, you know, you have that 1 hero unit. Here in this case, it's the Dark Templar for elfi, and he's just microing it around, hoping to get as much as he can do done. It's just, elfi is, he's almost mined out and it is natural. He has no more, he has nothing. He needs to make something happen.
Ooh. Looks like he might be able to get a Storm off, or he gets a, he flubs a little bit and accidentally clicks on the Oversteer instead of one of the full energy infestors.
I think maybe if he was actually able to get the Overseers, then he could warp in some DTs to be annoying. But again, he has not much here. Throws down a Storm, quite a nice one. But there's just so much here for Slivko right now. Tries to blink forwards as well. Nice Guardian Shields to be able to soak up some damage. But look how many infested Terrans. And Roach is ripping him up.
Roach is and good game. Slivko takes the win. That is a tough win for Slivko to pulled off.
I kind of felt physically uncomfortable, with the position that elfi was in. There was just that tension of that army looming outside of his base. And yeah, he got so many worker kills with those DTs. but commiserations to Elfi there.
Well, that means that in first and second place in the group are Bomber and Slivko, and in third place is Elfi, or as I was going to call him, Elfer. Bommy and Elfer.
That's a pretty nice little mix-up there, but regardless, these guys sharing very nice words with one another. They're always so nice.
Oh, man.
Slivko, ever the character. He's a delightful chap, and, you know, nice win by him there. So does that mean Slivko advances on now as well?
That is correct. Slivko and Elfi will be advancing.
Yep.
So far, the qualified players, it's half and half between Koreans and foreigners. It's Nerchio, 4GG, and Sorta from Group A, MVP Violet and Koss from Group B, and then Bomber, Elfi, and Slivko from Group C. Coming up in Group D, not only will Tastosis be casting, but it's going to be Haswab's Vortex, Supernova, Killer, MC, and Real.
What a fantastic stacked lineup there in Group D. As you can see, Vortex and Hasuobs here just getting prepared for the upcoming battles. And again, you know, Vortex, not that well known outside in other locations, but he is looking phenomenal right now. Just barely losing out in the TSL 4 recently to Keen, who I actually pegged Vortex to be able to take that. Again, a little bit of soft spot for the guy. I would always like to see, you know, foreigners do pretty well going up against Koreans, but Koreans, they're just so dominant, man.
Yep. Can't disagree with that. And of course, with Supernova, MC, and Real all being in Group D, I still would pin that man, Hasuobs, as being pretty much my top pick for the group. Him and MC.
Yeah.
A lot of faith in Hasuobs' ability to prepare for and perform well in tournaments.
He's pretty darn strong. Was able to take out the previous champion in TSL 3, Thorzane, in the TSL 4. Which a lot of people were predicting, you know, Thorzane, very, very powerful Terran, very, very, you know, strong going up against Protoss. And Hasu, you know, they've been good friends for a long time, just had his number in that series.
Well, we're going to be going up to Group D after this short interview up on the main stage with Jarrett, who has our winner, Slivko.
I'm with the winner and the man who's advancing to the playoff stage, Rock's Kiss Slivko. Is there anyone in particular that you would like to meet in the playoffs that you're very confident against?
I think I have problem with language. I don't understand good.
Who would you like to meet in the first round of the playoffs?
MC.
MC? MC? Okay. Yeah. That's ballsy, man. I like that. I like balls. And after you beat MC, are you going to win the whole thing?
If I beat, yeah, I have very good chance.
All right. I like that. Well, congratulations, man. Take it easy. So Group C, we have Elfi, Slivko, and Bomber advancing with some scores you can look up on your phones.